Hi, this is Brandon from thirstgym.com. Today we're going to talk about exercise called the heels elevated safety squat bar squat versus chain. So we've already talked about the heels elevated safety squat bar squat in the past. This is a variation on that variation, and this is great for if you're wanting some accommodating resistance, you're wanting to try to lighten the load up in the bottom, build some strength on the top end, really hammer those quads even more so than the variation already does. Or if you really want to try to develop some speed properties, you can implement this as part of your dynamic effort work as well. So talk about the setup. You need a safety squat bar, fantastic. Does a great job of helping people that have shoulder limitations, can't get their arms back, they got shoulder problems, something's going on with the upper body and you still need to be able to back squat. Safety squat bar is fantastic for this. I recommend the one from Elite FTS. We've also got chains on here. So I've got a pair of easy straps, which I think is honestly the easiest way to load chains for any reason. But if you have a leader chain, that works too. And then you're gonna take the big fat chains, ideally 5/8 chains, and for us, we just hook them on one of the rings here. And if I had more than just one set of chains, then I would set them, stagger them if I really want to, or put them on one. That's really up to your programming. Then from a heels elevated standpoint, I've got a Prime Fitness wedge here. This one's about 20 degrees. This is on for most people, I would say this is probably about as steep as you want to go. You probably want more like the 10 to 15 on the average of most people. But this is fantastic for heels elevated work, so you don't have to bring plates over and such. But if you are in a scramble or you don't have one of these, just using 10-pound plates underneath your heels is another option you have. So why the chains? Well, so the chains deload into the ground. So as we stand up, the chain weight then is added to the bar weight. So this bar is 65 pounds. I've got 20 pounds of chain on each side. So theoretically, I've got 105 pounds or so on the top here. As I go down, the links go onto the ground. They're no longer factored into the weight with the bar, and the weight gets less. So if we're trying to develop speed qualities, this is great because it prevents us from having to decelerate the bar as much. If you've got the right amount on there, you amount right of bar weight plus chain weight, you probably are gonna have to decelerate the bar not a whole lot. But also from a strength perspective, it helps go with the strength curve. So as we know, the bottom is the hardest part of the exercise and the top is generally the easiest. So as we go down, we can technically deload some weight, make sure we're comfortably strong down there, but as we stand up, and technically for us, as the weight would normally be easier without the chains, as the chains go to the bar, it adapts to the exercise so that we get more tension on our lower body and then more gains. So what you're gonna do, chains are on here, set up underneath the bar. We're gonna slowly walk the weight out here, make sure my heels are all up on the ramp or the plates or whatever it is that you have. Then we're taking a big breath into our belly area here. So we don't want to breathe up this way. We just want to make sure we can fill down good strong in the abdomen. As I go down, I'm going to keep that air. As I come up, I can let some of it out, but I also want to lead with my traps up into the bar. So here's a couple reps for you. Really good racket. So as you notice, as I go down, I can feel the weight getting lighter, and as I stand up, I can feel it getting heavier. So if you're gonna use this as a strength-based exercise, 3 to 5 sets, probably 3 to 6 reps is a good place to be for your athletes or your clients. If you're wanting to do dynamic effort work, you're probably looking at anywhere from probably 6 to maybe even 12 or 15 sets of 1 to 3. That's really up to you and depending upon the percentage of bar weight you have and what you're trying to get from your athletes. I know that when we do speed work and squats in here, we usually stay with doubles and triples, and I'm usually fluctuating between probably about 45 and 55% on average for most of my athletes. Every now and then we might get into the 60% range. But it's a fantastic way to just build around issues that athletes might have, especially if we're talking about hip mobility, shoulder issues, low back problems. We're trying to limit the load in the bottom. I think you can really work around a lot of issues with this variation and overall just train incredibly safely depending upon what your goals are. So if you have any questions, please feel free in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.